second video. Today we're gonna be talking about installing Python. I'm gonna go over some of the basics, the really basics, so bear with me if you have programmed before. And also I would like to give you some advice and tips on file systems and folders on your computer. Again, this might be really easy knowledge to some of you, but I think it's overlooked, and it's something that I'm still learning about today, and I think that you need to see it as a place to learn, not just something that's simple. So again, I hope you enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful day, and enjoy the rest of the video. Have a good day. Howdy, I'm at the python.org website. By the way, I could say howdy because I've been to Texas once. So the first task of today is to download Python yourself. It's really not so difficult. You should know whether you have a Windows or Mac OS X. Please download Python 3 and up. No Python 2 here, please. I'll give you one hint or one piece of advice. When it asks you, when you're installing it, it'll say sets to path, something about path, and it's going to be a checkbox. Please check it, okay? Then I'm going to show you. Okay, well, first, I want you to navigate your folders. Like, here's my local disk. By the way, a disk is like the start of the memory to your computer. So you have this disk. Then there's your operating systems. So that's downloaded onto the disk. So here's my disk. I have Windows. You can see it's the operating system. So if you have a Mac, it'll be Mac. You have all your programs that you've downloaded. So I have this is program data. So these are just programs that I have, like MATLAB, some database, whatever. You have your programs, and then you have your user files, and these are your documents, or your Microsoft Word. You have your desktop, you have your downloads, you have your music, your pictures, your videos. Okay, this is the basics of your folder system, okay? You have to start from somewhere. And it's the same for Mac as it is for Windows. So first, try to find from these folders where your Python is installed, because it's important to know these things. Okay, and now if you can't find it, I'll show you a simple command you can type into Python. So it's import sys. So by the way, I looked this up. I did not memorize this. Okay, I might even get it wrong. Programmers don't memorize anything. So sys.executable. Oh, I got it wrong. Thankfully, I have it right here. Oh, okay, that was like a really basic typo. I had no faith in myself. I could have actually sounded it out. Let's try it one more time. Executable. Boom. So here you could see it's in my user files. So it's funny, you would expect it to be my program files, but it's specific to the user. JLAR, that's like the name of my user. This is the app data. Local. So local is basically, think of it like within your reach. It's like on this computer. Programs, Python 3.8.2. You can see, 3.832. Okay, don't ask me. And this is just what the exe file, that's what it's called. And that's how the Python is run, through this. This is the path. That's what we call it. Path. Okay. Path equals where your Python is located. Okay, I'll teach you about variables, okay, soon, for those of you who thinks this looks like magical wizardry. But yes, just all I want you to do is have in your mind, okay, let me start looking at my folders, and also take 10 minutes out of your day. Seriously, it'll exponentially make your computer life more efficient. If you just set a 10-minute timer, go through your folders, organize your folders, put important things in the documents. Don't just have a jungle on your desktop. It's really important. Like right now, I organized my desktop like last month, and honestly, I need to organize it again this month. So do some spring cleaning. It's a perfect season for that, and you'll thank me. Trust me. All right, cool. Hello everybody, I'm here in the Python shell, so hopefully you were able to successfully download it, and when I type Python, you'll see here I have idle. Click it. This is where we're going to be programming. There's many text editors that you can use. So a text editor is something that you can write program code inside, and it'll turn it into a nice program for you. So the shell, it's a way that you can write code and it can execute automatically. Okay, I click enter, it gives me the result. There's another way that you can program. It's through like text editors like this. So if I write 5 plus 5 and I click enter, it's not going to give me the result. This will be a file. And if I want to execute it, I need to run the module. I need to save it, and then it'll read everything and execute everything. For facility, I guess, we're going to program in the shell, and we're going to see our results automatically. It's easier teaching method. All right, so the first thing that you do when you get a new language is you write hello world. Okay, this might look complicated to you. So basically, when you print something, it's just the way that the computer can speak to the user. You're the programmer, you're programming this. The users are the people that are going to use your program. So this gets printed out to the screen. So it's this function, these are functions, I'll go over them in depth later on. This function is unique to Python, the way that you write it. In every language, they write it differently. Okay, we use quotes because it's a word, or more technical language, this is a string. So just remember that strings are green in Python when you're using the shell. If you used it in a file, it's not going to be green, I think. Let me see. Just test it. Okay, it is going to be green. Cool. All right. If I hadn't used quotes, you'll see that it turns black. Okay? So when it's black, Python is going to first say, is it a number? If it's not a number, it's going to say, so maybe it's a variable. So as you can see here, if I try to print this hello, it gives me an error. I know this looks a bit violent. Like when I first started programming, I was afraid of these error messages. But let's read it, okay? It's good to get used to them because you're going to be seeing them a lot. So here it says name error. Name hello is not defined. So like I said, Python saw that this was not a number. So it said, it's a variable. But I didn't make any variable called hello. So it's telling me that there's no value to this variable. So here I can actually create a value to it, and if I say hello means hello everybody, everyone, it's going to count these as variables too, and I don't want that. I want it to be counted as text. So I put it here, and then I print hello, and it does as I wanted it to. Cases are very important. If I do hello without a capital H, it'll say the same error, so just remember that. Okay, I can print, okay, let me lower it a bit more. I can print numbers, and I don't need to use those quotes. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the technical language for everything, so don't freak out, okay? So these are all data types, okay? Data types. By the way, I can write hashtags, and then these are comments. I can write whatever I want. It doesn't change anything. Blah, 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 you see? So there's data types. So we've seen string. So the string data type is this. I'll just put equals, blah, blah, blah. Anything written with quotes. Could also be single quotes, blah, blah, blah. So that's a string data type. Okay, then there's the number / int data type. Int is short for integer. So anything that is a number, blah, 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 23, 1, okay, that is a number, an int, an integer. Then there are floats. Those are decimals, okay? So it could be used for money, for anything. It's a float. And I'm not going to go over all of them, just the important ones. Then there's booleans, and that's true or false. So let's show a boolean and why it would be useful. So let's say you enter a site. So I'm going to make a variable called underage, okay? And you are underage. You need to be over 18 to visit this site. There's probably going to have a variable like this on their site, underage, and it's going to be a boolean. It's going to be either false or true. So if underage is true, can you go to this website? So if you're underage, you cannot go to this website. So that's a case where you would use a boolean. Okay, we can see, and remember when you're writing booleans, use capital letters, not lowercase. That's important. It should change colors. So yeah, all these data types are used for different cases. And if you want to see if you're curious, you could write type and it can tell you boolean. You can also do, let's say, type hello, string, let's make an X for Y. So type for X and type for Y. So that's a way you can see all the data types. Okay, cool. I'm going to show you why it's important that if you need a string, you use a string. If you need a num, you use a num. So, actually I didn't say, you can add, you can subtract, you can multiply. Okay, there's a space, I didn't like that. You can multiply and you can divide in Python. Okay, these are all the operations you can do. But you cannot, let's say I have a variable hello, hey. Does this make sense? Can you add 1 to hey? That does not make sense. You can add 1 to hey, like a string 1, but you can't physically add 1. So I have this variable x, I can add 1 to x. So you can sometimes do these operations. I can subtract to x, I can multiply with x, and I can divide. But you cannot subtract this, you cannot divide, but interestingly, you can multiply. So you see, it just smashed them together, and that's valid, okay? Another thing that could be dangerous, what if I have, okay, I have P equals 4 and L equals 7. What if I wanted to add these two together, and let's say accidentally I made these strings and I wanted to add them together? This could really confuse someone and they could think that this is a valid answer, but it's not. You could see that they're just smashing 4 and 7 together. So that's why it's really important that you know about data types, you know about which ones you're using, and there's an intention behind you using them. So I suggest for today, make sure you install Python, play around with it, make some variables, print some variables. I'll show you one extra trick with using print. So let's say, okay, let's say I have this hello, hey, let's say I have a name variable, Jackie. You can print 2 variables using a comma. So hey Jackie, and then I can also add more text by saying how are you. So you can add, I could have added another variable here, I could add a string in the middle, but you separate them by commas. So I hope you learned in this video, and I hope you're enjoying what I'm trying to do here. And yeah, next week, expect another video. Have a very good day, and peace out.